Virgos, you are changing the story about how you feel about life. And this is a big one. Virgos are real good on stories, especially about their feelings. They'll tell you long stories about their mom or their childhood, or long stories about what it was like growing up. And this is their story, right? And it's a good story, but it's an old story. It's time to put that book on the shelf. You are starting a whole new story about how you feel about life. That would be how you feel about politics, how you feel about work, how you feel about people, celebrities, how you feel about friends, how you feel about everything. That's the new story. So you're probably going to find this week that you're really tired of certain feelings, that you're just over it. You just don't want to hear or go there again. And I know when Virgos get over it, they get over it. So I think you're going to be over certain feelings about life this week, which begins the story of how you're going to have new feelings about life and how you want to feel about life. So writing that storybook ending, basically, I think is what you want to do. Now, Venus in Scorpio is that you are going to now open up to a new way of thinking. When the sun was in Scorpio, it showed you this thinking is toxic. This thinking is toxic. This thinking is undermining you. This thinking is not supporting you. And you might have already forgotten. Okay. So you're going to have your thinking really close. It's going to be really hard to ignore repetitive thinking, to ignore negative thinking, spiral thinking, all that type of thing. So your thinking becomes really sharp. You're also very creative in your thinking with Venus in Scorpio. And also be careful to think twice before you say something, because there's a transparency with Venus. It kind of brings a like a magnifying glass. I think actually the Venus symbol is a magnifying glass. It brings like a magnifying glass to your thoughts and whatnot. And just be careful, someone else may not want that hit of truth. Virgos can tell like it is, like they're the first person to tell you got spinach in your teeth, basically. Now, Neptune direct means, and this is a good thing, your long-term relationships now move forward. So your story with long-term relationships, that's long-term creative partnerships, long-term romantic partnerships, long-term family partnerships, when you're connected to someone in your family, sometimes like sisters or brothers or best friends forever. So you're moving forward now in your long-term relationship karma, which, by the way, is completely dependent on how you are to yourself. So if you want to draw on that other kind of person, you've got to be a new kind of person to yourself. If you're not a new person to yourself, you'll draw on the same old type of person. Okay. So if you are bringing in the same type of person that you meet, whether it's on dating apps or in public or for your job or for your work, then you're still treating yourself the same. That's why you're getting the same person showing up for you. So change your relationship to yourself for that. When it comes to changing your seat of power, you're going to have to square off between your old business. So like what you do financially, what you do for abundance, and personal dreams. Somewhere how you make money and what your heart wants are somehow in conflict. So you're in conflict between what your heart really wants and what actually makes money. And probably both have to be tweaked a little bit, in the sense that, maybe you start making money from what you love. Maybe you don't insist on having so many things that your heart wants. But ultimately it's time for you to have what your heart wants, because in the new era, Virgos get what their heart wants. That's part of the new era. That's part of the new story that's going to happen. So resolving conflicts between money and personal dreams is part of Sunday through probably Wednesday. We're already starting to feel that already, by the way, and that's unfolding.
It's serious joy, joy, joy.